Listen, let me stop you, John. It really did sound outrageous then, but you know something? I've been interviewing a lot of ufologists, scientists, scholars, people who have said things that when they say them, John, they suddenly harken back to some of the early interviews that I did with you, and I'll say to myself, sometimes out loud, I'll be damned. You know, I remember John said that, and a lot of people guffawed, and here we are. I mean, a lot of that stuff that you told me, John, has been coming back recently.
Yeah.
And a lot of investigators, John, are beginning to go down some of the same roads you did. Back then, you were one of the only ones saying, look, these guys are not necessarily warm, fuzzy, nice people who wish us well. And you were almost alone then. But now, let me tell you, John, more people than not are beginning to join you in that in that view.
Yeah.
At any rate, the Dulce incident.
Okay, now the Dulce incident I first heard about in 1986 or 1987 when I was invited to be part of a group of researchers who met at Crestone, Colorado, and traded information. And I was handed a letter by one of the guys who had gotten this letter from a person who lived in Las Vegas. They wanted to research this, and I talked about this underground base and found it so far out. But I met with this person, and she had known one of the officers who had worked inside this base and originally told about the massacre at Dulce. I further heard a story by a guy named Paul Benowitz who lived in Albuquerque. He was involved in it, and he told me about it also. And the story went that in 1979 he had 44 scientists who were being instructed by the aliens in some substance, I don't know what it was, but they were being instructed at Dulce, and for some reason it was agreed that our security force, our Delta force, was not carrying conventional weapons at any time in this classroom around this area. For some reason, one of the officers walked in with a conventional sidearm, and the aliens killed him outright. Now, how that was done, I don't know. But on the video, on the monitor, his compatriots, the Delta Force, saw him was killed, and they went down on mass to attack the men. And it ended up that all 44 scientists and about 66 of the Delta Force were killed. It was a complete massacre. So I just put this in the files and the story, and it didn't come up again until Rob Lazar, who worked at the LS4, and we'll get into that later, wrote a report that documented this massacre. Now, the only thing different about the report that we read was that in the report we read, the massacre occurred somewhere around Area 51.
Is there any indication of how they were killed?
No, just Edwards, the report says they died of hit.
Again, that's a lot of relatives who are going to be requiring explanations and that sort of thing. How was it all explained?
Well, now remember, this is just, speculation how they handle it. We realize now that most of the people that get in these programs do not have relatives who run these programs, either orphans or the family that passed away or whatever. And it's essential that these kind of things happen. Go this way because they don't want to have to be trying to explain away the death of relatives.
So the people who do these things are screened specially for this kind of work, which includes
non-professionals, but they also have other methods. They go to the family and say, look, we're going to give you an annual or monthly stipend, but this is national security and it's for God and country.
And so here, so sign this and it'll be done. Yeah, I understand. Then I think it was an incident that had a lot of influence on you, didn't it? Bentwaters in 1980.
Yeah, Bentwaters occurred just 3 days at the end of December. We have a 19th Air Force base about 30 miles northeast of London called Bentwaters. At that time, it was sort of a camp base. People were on very strange things happened during those 3 days, culminating with the, it wasn't a landing, it was an appearance of a very weird aircraft witnessed by General George Williams, who was the base commander, Major Dick Conrad, Colonel Chuck Hall, Larry Warren, and a few others. But at any rate, the incident did occur, but it was a story as far as I'm concerned. Many pilots had heard it. In 1985, I ran into a friend here in Las Vegas, Air Force friend that I knew as well. He was transferring from the regular Air Force to the Guard, and he came over to the house. We started talking about stuff, and then she asked where he'd been based, and I said, Stillwater. I said, oh, that's supposedly where that saucer landed in 1980. He said, no, yeah, not supposedly, it did. He said, I didn't see it, because I could find the orders, but I know the guys who did. And he said, their names, and I said, wait a minute. You're telling me this stuff is real? Is there on flying saucers? This time, and I'm not really interested in stuff. My interest is my foot 71.
I understand. But what about your dad, John? I know your dad had great abiding interest in all of this. Didn't any of that rub off on you, or was it self-ignited?
No, because there was no proof. He was certainly in it. Now that I look back, it's because of who his friends were. He was friends with General Vandenberg, who was first head of the CIA. Member of MK-12, who was very, very real close friends with Jimmy Doolittle, who was up to his eyeballs in sailing stuff. But, you know, he never let on to me, and it was just not part of my interest here. You know, but with my problem, but, you know, unless you see one or have hard evidence, it's not a part of your life. But in 1985, when it came apart, when Greg said, yeah, it's true, it's going on. And that's what involuntarily, I might add,
Okay, so that was then really the beginning of your interest?
Correct.
All right. In 1983, you've written Second Attempt at Public Disclosure, Linda Howe, MJ-12, and something about HBO. What is all that?
This was when Linda Howe was contacted by MJ-12 in order to do a documentary, and they said that they would make available to her many, many thousands of feet of saucers and whatnot, and they wanted her to write a documentary that would be presented on HBO. And she contacted HBO, and HBO said, we'll do it, but before we air it, we want the film interview with the President, his Chief of Staff, and his National Security Council saying that this is true. And MK-12 essentially led her on a round robin, so to speak, of different bases and different facilities and all kinds of things for about 8 months. At the end of which, it was just terminated. We never heard anything more.
Well, that must have been very frustrating. I'm going to have to ask her about that.
There was no more contact, and only a few years later, she run into somebody who was involved in that, and it said, I'm sorry it turned out the way it did, but we had no option. There was no further explanation. So the story she told me is where they took her, that she was just absolutely fascinating. And of course, Linda Howe is very articulate, very knowledgeable, and she's both fluent herself. So, you know, it wasn't just something good.
By the way, John, again, on the subject of Linda Howe, I talked to her earlier today, and she said she's going to be on the way to New Mexico. She's had enough. There's too much going on down there, so she's going to be on her way to New Mexico, and will be reporting to us from New Mexico.
Well, she was the lead authority on relations. She did that documentary for the Associated Network. I think it was what was it, 1980.
Right, I believe so.
And then her and I, after the presidency, drove down to Roswell. And oddly enough, here we are driving out in the middle of the desert, just about 15 miles north of where the UFO crashed. And we're on this little teeny road, it's a dirt road, about 20 miles from nowhere. And I'm driving along this countryside town. I thought, well, here I am with the world's leading authority on cattle. be a dead count. So we get out there, and there was none of the classic cookie cutter incisions. But we started looking around, and we saw 3 others. And then we saw 2 others, and then I stood up on the bed of the truck, and I think we counted 34 cows.
Wow.
And so we went to found the nearest ranch and asked the guy if he knew about the cows. He said, yeah, he said they were divided up to eat. Well, then the house checked in with a veterinarian on this, whatever the disease was. I don't remember what it is now. But the veterinarian said, no way. He said, if that had been that disease, that's what it would have cordoned off in 100 miles. It's a very odd one of those nights.
It is, and I've heard Linda Howell tell exactly the same story. So I guess that's the way it happened.
That was her news. That was still like an news.
All right. She's still trying to get it out to the public today, and that's well over a decade now. Then the Eisenhower Breeding Corps leaked to Hollywood producer and friend of Bill Moore.
Yeah, that was James Chandra, and one day he received in the mail this film, which was undeveloped. He had developed, and it was the Eisenhower Breeding as he come to know it, and it was supposedly the breeding that Eisenhower got when he became president on the alien situation. So remember they told about the Roswell crash, they told what they were told the original members of the 12, and what they planned to do. It was very interesting. Now, people say that the information was definitely true, not necessarily with the document itself. It was the document.
All right. Then you say 1985, my interest begins. Actually, it began a little earlier than that. What made you write that, John? Why 1985?
That's when Fred Wilson came to Las Vegas.
And told you the story about that. Yeah, okay, I see. Then 1986, and I remember this one very well. JAL 747 Captain is followed by UFOs 3 times as big as an aircraft carrier, and I remember that.
It was an enormous craft. It had followed him for an hour. He was on his way from a couple of the nights when Anchorage, Fieldstop and Anchorage, and then on to Japan. And about an hour out of Anchorage, and 33,000 feet this night, this thing appeared in front of the aircraft. And it was not a passenger flight, it was cargo, and so there was only 3 guys in the cockpit, but they all thought radar had it, they turned to be sure it wasn't some gigantic construction of some sort. They went down to 29,000 feet to see if it was followed, and it did. And then after about an hour, it just left, and they landed and gave their FAA report. And other than a comical news story, ignored by the press, specifically by Aviation Wing and Space Technology, who was the premier aviation magazine, that gave us 1 word, not even the same.
Well, for all your flying, John, and one incident you have had that may have been something like that, you must talk to all kinds of other captains, lots of friends in the industry. Do they talk about this now?
Not unless it was policy and cardiogenic to bring this up. Unless I've been with the crew for a long time, and unless it's appropriate. But you find out that maybe 1/3 of the pilots could be sensitive.
All right, we're at the bottom of the hour. This is where we pause. We've been doing sort of a historical look at UFOs, how John became involved, and we're just about up to modern, this is CBC. All right, back now to John Lear. John?
Yeah.
All right, we're getting up toward the modern day here, but first, let us look at 1987. And particularly the Gulf Breeze sightings, because that's still going on, John. It's still going on. We're getting photographs. There have been recent photographs, one which is a very picture. A lot of people are following up on that right now. And the same gentleman at Gulf Breeze continually seeing these craft. What is your assessment of what happened at Gulf Breeze?
Well, I first heard about it in 1987 when the Channel 4, I believe, was down there, and put out the documentary, and it had Ed Walters' film that he took out the back door of this craft hovering behind the tree line there, just over the tree line. And it was tremendously interesting, and there was no doubt in my mind that from the videotape that this thing occurred, but there were so many people jumped on it as a hoax, and it just did bad splits to try and prove it was a hoax. But in my opinion, it was not. It was a true thing. Ed Walters took a tremendous amount of flack over the years for showing his film and for saying the things he did, but I believe it was a thing.
Well, all right, everybody. I'm Art Bell. My guest is John Lear, son of Bill Lear, who invented the 8-track tape deck. He invented the Learjet, of course. John's father had an abiding interest in UFOs. John got one himself, but not because of his father's interest. He did it on his own because of the events that we've just documented over the last couple of hours. Now, back to John Lear. John?
Yes, sir.
All right. Neil Armstrong, on the occasion of the anniversary of the Apollo mission to the moon, was at the White House about 3 weeks ago now, I guess, 4 weeks ago, something like that. Anyway, Neil Armstrong rarely does public appearances, rarely has anything to say, but when he does, wow. What he said, and I took this quote directly from the NBC Evening News, was as follows, quote, and he said this at the White House, quote, there are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. There are places to go beyond belief, end quote, Neil Armstrong. What do you think he meant, John?
It sounds like a pretty powerful statement. Both Neil and Buzz Aldrin and most guests, all of them seem something they all incredible. And they've been silenced by NASA. And over the years, it's kind of weird that they'd like to get it out, but they can't be as blatant and say, yes, I saw this, yes, I saw that. I think that's basically what he's saying. I've heard some of the astronauts come out very precipitously and say, listen to me carefully. There are no UFOs. You understand what I'm saying? No UFOs. And what they're saying is, no, there's no unidentified flying objects. They're all identified.
The astronauts, particularly the ones that went to the moon, the early astronauts, have all had big trouble, John. Psychological troubles, a lot of divorces, a lot of drinking, a lot of trouble, period. And one source of that trouble, one might speculate, is that they have knowledge that they can't talk about that's eating away at them. Could that be so?
Definitely. And that's one of the ways in which they keep the secret is through it's called pain-driven hypnosis, where when they tell you this stuff, they give you a preview, and it involves pain, it involves drugs, it involves hypnosis, so that it doesn't bother you that much, but it doesn't always work on everybody. And they know they have this knowledge, it's hard to know something with this, the ramifications of this kind of thing.
Did not be able to
tell somebody.
Yeah, it would eat you alive, I suppose. John, just before we go to the phones, you've said, and this really is very different than a lot of ufologists today, that you've come to the conclusion that while you were digging in earlier years so that the world might know, you now don't think we ought to know, or that we have a right to know, or that it would be good for us to know, or how do you explain that and why?
Well, it has to do with religion, and no, people should not know. This is something that is irritating as it might be. It's none of their business. There's nothing they can do to modify it anyway. It's best they just go on with their lives and pay their taxes, find something they enjoy, voting, sailing, growing lawn, or something like that, and get on with their life. There's no reason to know this. And if they do the true ramifications of this, it will bother them. It eventually result in the breakdown of society.
The breakdown of society. How much do you know, John, without telling me what you know, How much do you still know that you haven't told?
Not very much. There's still much of this stuff. There's stuff I'm not talking about. It's religious stuff. It takes a while to figure out what it's all about. I've told you most of it.
But maybe not all.
No, not all. There's a lot of sensitive, very sensitive stuff regarding this.
All right. Let us take some calls, John, and I want to remind everybody the toll-free line is east of the Rockies only at 1-800-618-8255, and let us venture forward. Hi there, on our east of the Rockies line, you're on the air with John Lear. Hello there. No, you're not. On the first-time caller line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
Hello, John. This is Coco, San Diego.
San Diego, yes, sir.
Rachel, question. Sounds like if the U.S. has some of the technology, that it really wouldn't be too big of a problem being confronted with other nations like Russia with their type of military. Do you think this type of technology can be implemented in such cases like war in a sense?
All right. What about it, John?
Well, it certainly can. This may be the result of the breakdown of direction we wanted to go in. I don't know that for a fact, but it's possible that happened. Our technology base is about 30 years of where everyone's thinking. When you look at the space shuttle and all the satellites and the stuff we got going, our technology base is 30 years ahead of that.
30 years ahead.
Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. About 25 years ago, you guys were talking about talking rock technology.
Yes.
And what that was they put a rock in an analytic chamber and gave it a pulse, like hello. And the rock absorbed the vibrations. By measuring the vibrations, about a half a second later, measuring the vibrations, they could pull out the word hello. Well, 25 or 30 years later, what they have now is a means to beam into a room and pulling off, measuring the vibrations that have been given, any of the crystal structure like glass or windows or anything like that, and pull out a conversation with themselves daily.
Wow. Wow. That's some technology. On our east of the Rockies line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
Oh,
Hi, where are you, sir?
Leavenworth, Kansas.
Leavenworth, all right.
Hello?
You're on the air. Go ahead.
I was wanting to talk about Project Blue Book.
All right.
I was wanting to find out whether it's still being researched or if you've even heard of it.
Well, of course, we've heard of it. John, any comments on Blue Book? It is no more, or is it now going on below the surface?
It was established in 1948 or 49 and was brought to a halt in 1969 by the Condon Committee. And what they said is based on all their research, flying saucers did not represent a threat to national security. Now, they didn't go as far as to say that they didn't exist. What they said was
They're not a threat.
they're not a threat. But Project actually, the actual project was called GRUD. The research of different sightings, and yes, that's certainly not Project GRUD, the active project.
That's an interesting conclusion, to not rule out their existence, but state they have no, they're not a threat to national security. It doesn't make sense to me. If they exist, they certainly would be a potential threat.
Yeah. Well, they got away with it.
Now, on the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning. Where are you calling from, please?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. All right.
Okay, what I want to say here has to do with the religion aspect, and that's okay with Mr. Lear.
Sure.
Okay, here's my opinion. It's just my opinion now, so this might not mean anything to you at all. But I am a Christian, and what I have gained from this is that, this is just my opinion, but that UFOs have actually been built under the watchful eye of the Illuminati. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, I've heard that.
What do you think about that?
Choose your words carefully.
Huh?
It's not.
For the reason to explain, you believe in the rapture? No, I don't mean to make this into a religious show.
Yeah, please don't.
Okay.
Please don't. In other words, John believes there is a connection between religion and UFOs
Can you please expound on
that
that?
you would not find agreeable and which you would rather not expound on, I think. John?
No, it's all the same thing that I do not want to expound on my
All right, it's kind of like when you say this, I guess we had to cover it, John, but when you say this, it's like putting a box on the table that says, do not open this box, and then just leaving it there, and everybody who comes past will inevitably open the box. And so they want to open the box. I understand that, but perhaps some boxes are best left unopened. On the wild card line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
I'm calling from the Bay Area, San Francisco area. And
Yes, sir.
I can prove right now that what Mr. Lear is saying is the opposite of the truth, because the U.S. government is not covering up information about the existence of extraterrestrial life. Government intelligence agencies have been spreading the rumor that aliens are among us to UFO researchers, and this has been documented by Jacques Vallée in his book Revelation. For example, in 1983, the proven disinformation agent Richard Doty at Kirtland Air Force Base invited Linda Howe to that Air Force Base and showed her these alleged secret documents claiming aliens among us. Then in 1985, Jacques Vallée and J. Allen Hynek were invited to Norton Air Force Base by some generals there and told that aliens are among us. And I think it's all a lie, and I have a reason for it.
Well, all right, give that to us. You said you had proof, sir, so go ahead and lay it out.
The proof is what I just told you, and you just get Jacques Vallée's book Revelation. That proves that the government is hiding it. It's pushing it on UFO researchers, and the reason for this reverse psychology disinformation campaign was stated by Stanton Friedman when he said that a belief in alien life would cause people to lose their faith in the value of nation states and lead to the acceptance of world government, which is exactly what the power elite to control government wants. And their multinational corporations have most gained from globalism.
All right, so there it is, John. He lays it out. It is something he's charging to lead us toward the one world government. That's what you're.
Well, I certainly respect his opinion, and if I don't have any hardware, I'm certainly not going to be able to believe what I.
John, at one time, can you tell the story about Element 115?
Element 115 is the power source for the extraterrestrial craft. We've been able to synthesize something like 106, but there is an element on up the line that is 115, and by pumping protons to the 115, it becomes 160, which immediately decays. And what the result of the decay is antimatter. And when the antimatter is mixed with matter, it's 100% conversion of matter to energy, which is a very, very large explosion. What they need to control this explosion and create heat. And also out of this reaction, they pull out the gravity waves with the outgoing neutrinos they use to propel themselves across the universe, which means hundreds of times faster than
At one time, and you tell as much of the story as you can, or you tell me to go fly a kite, but you had your hands on some 115, didn't you?
Yeah, Bob Lazar had his hands on from 115. We did some experiments which proved it was exactly what he said it was. And I believe it was the evening of the George Knapp UFOs the best evidence. We kept very close watch on this stuff, and we had it for 4 or 5 months. We became a little careless and we left out. And that night they broke into Bob's house and took it.
So you no longer have it, but and that's about as close as you've come to hardware.
That's correct.
All right, on the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Hello. Hello there. All No, you're not. On the first-time caller line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
Hi, Art. This is Randy from Leavenworth, Washington.
Hi, Randy.
I'm just clear about the 3 different types of aliens. I get a subscribe to a newsletter, and it talks about all the government research, and the different type ships are different aliens from different sectors in the universe, and there's the reptilian form, the insectoid, and the human type.
Well, there may be a lot more than that. John, how many are there?
Well, opinion, and this is only my opinion, there's about 70 types that are living Earth at one time or another, with various agendas. Some of them don't have anything to do with what's going on here. They're just coming down to take a look. But they're all different types. And some of them, if you had a chance to look at it, you would actually die of fright because they are so alien to what we are used to.
How's that, Don?
That sounds good.
You would die of fright. Are they able to appear to us in a form different than that which would cause us to die of fright?
Apparently, some of them can do that, but according to some of the abduction stories, they hide themselves. You can't get a look. You can see their shape, but you can't see their face. And that's prevalent. If you read John Mack's book, it's prevalent throughout all the abductions. They cannot see the face.
Yeah, it's true. I had John Mack on the program about 3 weeks ago.
Very interesting guy, and I really enjoyed his book. It was more of the same, but it's interesting.
It is. You know about the incident in which some young lady apparently set him up?
Yeah, I thought that was really disgraceful, but it's just media tactics. I don't know what she gained by that. It just...
or what agenda, or whose agenda she was serving by doing that.
It was just an unfortunate incident.
Here we've got a Harvard professor, lots of credibility, and he gets set up. That's just almost too much for even me. John, hang tight. We're bottom of the hour. We'll be back to you. John Lear is my guest. Pilot now, captain of an aircraft. We'll be back with more on UFOs.
This is Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell on the CBC Radio Network.
Good morning, everybody. I am Art Bell. My guest is John Lear, and we are talking about IFOs. In reference to John, identified flying objects. We'll get back to John in just a moment. Now, back to your calls and John Lear. John, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Are you ready?
Okay.
Here they come. On the east of the Rockies line, top of the morning, you're on the air with John Lear. Where are you calling from? Fort Worth, Texas. Okay.
Mr. Lear, just thinking there are things you don't want to talk about for religious purposes, but I wanted to tell a story that I believe is true. All the cosmonauts reported seeing these huge angelic-like beings with their arms crossed and a smile on their face like they knew something could happen. And that was before Chernobyl blew up. And John Glenn reported seeing something in 7 flight.
Yeah, it really is true. With regard to the angelic beings, Joe and I also remember that report. Do you?
Yeah. No, when they had their arms crossed and they were smiling because Chernobyl was going to happen.
Now, Russia wants Bibles.
What kind of an angel is that?
Russia now wants Bibles in their schools.
Yeah, all right, man, thank you. That's no guardian angel, is it, John?
I'd like to have.
I wonder how she could conclude that it was because of Chernobyl. That's really strange. On the other hand, I recall you saying one thing to me, John, that has haunted me for years and haunts me today.
Yes.
We have had a number of guests on this radio program about life after death. Inevitably, in every warm and fuzzy life after death story, people rush toward the warm, inviting light. Down the tunnel, into the light. And once you said to me, John, don't go toward the light, it's a trick. Go toward the darkness.
Well, now remember, I qualified that by saying that's what Ricky Strieber told me.
Well, it still bugs me to this day, John, because what if I had to make that choice?
Well, right now I'm going towards the darkness.
You are, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, boy, that really drives me crazy. On our toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Kodiak, Alaska.
Kodiak, Alaska. Yes, sir.
Yes, it's Dave. I've heard John talk about time travel, and I'm convinced that time travel is possible, and it's already happened. I opened up fields when I was 30 years old, and that, together with my birth date and the scriptures, unlocked the whole mystery.
All right, sir. Don, time travel. We've talked about it before. It's one of my favorite subjects. Do you believe time travel to be possible?
No question about it.
Oh, really?
Absolutely possible. Go forward in time. Like easier to go back, but you can certainly go back again.
I once wondered, and as have many people, and I'm going to make you tell me it's not true again, whether you and Mr. Lazar have thought of trying to construct something to traverse time.
Well, yes, we thought about it, but it's a big deal. You just can't go out and make this thing. You need a lot of equipment, so that's sheer speculation that it'd be fun to try, but you don't have stuff that you certainly have talked about.
Just an idle question of curiosity, John. If you had such a device,
Incidentally, we were going to go forward because that's a lot easier to do than going back.
that was going to be my question. Where would you go? Time-wise.
Well, all you have to do to go forward in time is create a strong gravitational field and more or less just stay there while all the rest of the world passes as time goes by. Then when you remove the gravitational field, you're wherever they were.
I see. All right, on my East of the Rockies line, you're on the air with John Lear. Hello. Where are you, sir?
San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio, Texas. All right. Go ahead.
I've got a story about a friend, dear friend of mine I've known about 12 years. He's a retired colonel, and I'm not going to read his name, but he lives in this mission depot. But he relayed a story to me and my wife about his encounter with the spaceship. And he told me that he was on the way to West Texas, driving toward El Paso. And he and his wife had seen this aircraft, but he said it wasn't an aircraft, it was a large ship. He said, when it stopped the vehicle, came back, hovered with vertical, up and down, then left and right, and then just left. And then he's an Air Force colonel, retired, and he's still aviation. He flies private flights now. He said there's no way anyone can ever tell him that they're here for the doesn't exist. Right.
All right, sir. Thank you. Well, there's a story. It's true. Once you've seen one yourself, your attitude really changes, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, it really does. But, there's so few of us get to see those things. Now, for instance, I'd love to see when I saw the one that Bob picking up to, and I saw that at night. Now, my wife, Carolee, didn't believe in any of this before. As a matter of fact, it almost came to, it almost split up our family because of my interest in this. She's from Mississippi, and she didn't believe any of it. And here in 1986, I was on a flight to Frankfurt, and she and my daughter Jackie were out in the garden, and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Jackie looks up and she goes, "Hey, Mom, look, it's a UFO." And they look up, and here's 2 of them at a very low altitude, less than a quarter of a mile away. They either right near Nellis Air Force Base. They were coming from Dallas and went around to the southern part of Sunrise. Now, that's an extremely rare sighting to get in the daytime. And it really changed her opinion. Of course, she says, well, I saw him, but I still don't believe it, but she did see him.
Well, maybe that was the sighting that saved John Lear's marriage.
It definitely was the sighting that saved my marriage.
I really can understand that, John. And you know where I live out here, and you know what I'm close to.
Yeah.
And I see things quite frequently, John, and I'm very hesitant to talk about them. Frankly, I had one major sighting of an aircraft I told you about, or a craft. I don't know.
Right.
But I see other things, John, in the night sky a lot. And now there are those who say that activity up here has lessened or gone away or been moved. Can you tell me anything about that?
Well, there certainly hasn't been a good sighting in, say, 2 years. And there's a facility in northern Nevada where they do a lot of testing. Now, whether they do UFO testing, I don't know. But there is a major facility up there. There's also increased activity down in Holland because they use super aircraft and stuff. But yeah, there definitely doesn't seem to be as much testing. There used to be just after Bob and I started talking about this, we would go to test sites and see all kinds of weird stuff, but they just not exciting.
I wonder if it is the attention that's been given up there, and there's been a lot of it. There's a lot of people hanging up there. Of course, they're trying to get more property now and isolate the area. And there's a kind of a government grab going on for property, as you know, John.
Yeah, and I don't really understand what the big deal is, because like in 1980, there was at least 30 AAOs, which are air access only areas in the United States in which, all this weird stuff went on. So Groom Lake is just one of a number of facilities.
It has been a pretty intense area.
It's been a pretty intense area, and I'm sure they're going to get the land.
I'm sure.
And I've heard that the testing has been severely curtailed for the past year.
Until you have too many cameras, too many people. On the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Weir. Good morning. Where are you calling from, please?
Okay, let me get my radio here.
All right, get your radio.
And got it.
Where are you, sir?
KVI.
KVI. We're holding this for east of the Rockies. Thank you very much for the call on the trial. Wild card line, you're on the air with John Weir. Hi.
Hi, Art. How are you?
Fine. Where are you?
This is Brian from Wichita.
All right.
Hi, John. Glad to talk to you.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
It's been a long time since I've been in Wichita.
There it is. I wondered, are you familiar with the writings of Rene Guénon or Jacques Chute?
No, what's that?
Religious writings concerning metaphysical stuff. How about stuff like Book of the Dead? You said you go toward the dark lights of the light. Are you familiar with? Have you read that?
No, but that's an interesting thing. A dark light. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, you gotta read the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And I would recommend people like you to get in touch with people like, say, the Dalai Lama, and talk to them about this kind of stuff and see what they think.
Well, all right.
People that are realized or that have studied mystical or metaphysical stuff that are, that are in that genre.
All right. Thank you. John, you don't seem inclined to really